Okay, cool.
CBS Radio.
Yes,
You're
hi.
looking at music.
Right.
So how was the process with music and you personally producing the show, or how important was it
The music in law school is it's very important to the show for sure. Obviously, our sort of theme song was created in our first season, but all the score and all the source music is done by a company called Silent Joe. They're sort of our music supervisors, but it is really important to the show. And what we try and do is use a lot of independent bands and singers and that sort of
Canadian. If we
so we try and which is the sort of like the sound of that type of music and the tone of that type of music is quite a lot like our show. We have some great people, Marco over at Silent Joe, and Amanda and Jody, and they were all musicians themselves, so they sort of, the process that happens is, during when Emily's writing and when we're coming up with it, we sort of have an idea of what we might want to hear, or certain areas where we might want to put in source music, like actual songs. And then once the episode is done and we go into post, the music is then presented to us, and that's when we actually put it all together. So it's actually months after we finish shooting that we actually choose the songs, and we choose whether or not we're going to use composition or source. The source is all composed by our composer. It's actually a really interesting process, but it happens quite later, much after the filming.
Some good cues. We got Duran Duran this year, Hungry Like Wolves. That was like when you write into the
was
script,
brilliant.
you're like, there's no way we're gonna get it right, and then you're like, oh my god. So that was amazing, because you never actually know. The truth is, you never know what's gonna be like out of price range and what's gonna be like, yes, we can use that. So the writers, of course, will write anything, right? Like, sure, Katy Perry, we can definitely get that. But that was a really pleasant surprise. So that was off that. We
got some fun stuff.
We
Coming
have
up fun stuff in season 4.
That was been
Songs
spoiled,
people
so now we
recognize.
just write in everything. The Beatles, they're so cheap.
Sure.
Exactly.
Whatever.
Exactly.
So what can we look forward to seeing next season?
Lots of fun, lots of sexiness, surprise, surprise. Kind of a fun season, I think. Like, you're really in the sweet spot for season 4, I feel like, because the fans have come along for the ride. They've really bought into it, bought into the characters and the relationships. And really bought into the mythology. So I would say we're going to be pretty ambitious this year as far as pushing kind of the bigger world, the bigger Fae world. But at the same time, we left our gang fairly separated at the end of third season, rather. So I think, Beau's got to put her little family together. And that's going to take some hard and fast work, especially as sort of the storm clouds are gathering. So big themes, big fun, big sexiness. Duran, maybe. I don't know. That's still third season.
Now, I saw the show grow in popularity through social networking.
Oh my gosh!
Were you aware of that as that was going on?
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Emily's actually really active on Twitter, and it's I think it's a really nice way for fans to interact when we're not actually airing. So when we have like a break in between seasons, it's still a way that they can connect. And Emily's been really great about that. And it's
I love
fun.
it. It's so
really
different. Even in like 5 years, when I was 16, it's changed so much, right? Like, you really get sort of an immediate gratification from the fans. Like, it used to be you sort of wrote something, 10 months later it went out onto the television. You'd be at home in your pajamas on the couch eating cheesies, being like, I hope someone liked that. Oh well. But now you really get immediate feedback, which is both a curse and a blessing. You kind of have to steel yourselves. You're not going to make everyone happy. But I just think we have such an incredibly intelligent, fun, witty fan base. I love talking to them on Twitter. I think the Twitter thing has been enormous. And, shows like this now are so international that social media really helps it find an audience that they would never otherwise find, which is so incredibly gratifying for our show. So,
and I think, and our actors are all really good with keeping in touch with their fans that way too. I mean, they all, Anna today is shooting, so she can't be here, but she's already sent out a bunch of answers and questions on Twitter and that sort of thing, or when she had the baby, she uploaded a little video for everyone to sort of keep in touch. It's a really interesting world we are in now, where fans actually have a way to really personally interact with the talent.
So this past season, Kinsey, you keep kind of flirting with her having some sort of ability or power or weapon or anything like that. Right. Is that something that you still kind of balancing? Just every once in a while she gets active, or is her being the sole human more important than
Well, it's her and Lauren are the humans. I always feel like I have to say that. Sorry, Lauren fans, I got your back. Don't worry. But yes, it is sort of so tempting for Kenzie, right? She's really in between worlds right now, I feel like. Like, she is sort of part of this Faye family, but can she ever truly be part of it? And I think part of her thinks she is meant for something in this world. But that's a dangerous road, What does that mean? What does that involve, But interesting to explore, I certainly think, just because I love that character so much, her powers are her utter humanness, Like, I read on the internet, someone said, Kenzie's powers is just collecting bros, like Bruce and Vex and Dyson. Everybody loves Kenzie, but she's going to have to find out who she is, and I think in season 4 that's a real development we want to explore, so stay tuned.
So what can we expect from Beau's father now that he showed up?
Oh, you think that's Beau's father?
Oh, I don't know.
That's so intriguing. Well, I don't know. I mean, the truth is she obviously has some very unusual parentage, and she has abilities we haven't really seen in other Fae before. I think she's sort of above and beyond your everyday typical succubus. But, the family thing, that theme sort of looms large for our show, but really, you'll just have to wait in season 4. Things are not always what they appear on our show. Cue hungry like a wolf. Yeah. I'm out.
I think one of the interesting things about, shows like this that have a hero's journey is the constant, you build up to the family, but then you break them apart and you bring them up again. And, is that something that is, the community aspect, is that kind of a little bit more important to explore, especially with these people kind of wayward souls? Do you think that's more important than, say, having someone floating?
Oh, definitely. Like, I think, it's not the most unique concept ever. I mean, Buffy really started that, stuff like that. But I do think with so much of the theme of our show is, can you be who you want to be versus who you're told to be, Beau doesn't like choice very much, on any level. And she sort of created a community of people who also don't want to be defined by, the patriarchy or society. So I do think there's some strength in this modern world, as we all make our choices about picking our family versus just being with our family. But capital F family, that always looms large for Beau. So we'll see what happens. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons this show resonates so much with fans too, because it really is, it's all about everybody being accepted for who they are, and that's something that's always been really important to our show.
Okay. Being covered.
You're all done.
I can do another one. Okay, we've heard in interviews before that one of the real cores of the show is the relationship between Beau and Dyson and Lauren. Lauren seems pretty far on the outs right now. How are we going to bring her back into the fold?
Roller coaster. Yes, huge entrance. That's going to be a big story to tell, you know what I mean? I feel like both Lauren and Dyson are kind of stuck right now. I mean, Dyson kind of went off a cliff, which is hugely inconvenient to your love life.
Yeah.
And Lauren, we don't even know where she is. Well, I know where she is, but I can't tell you that.
Duran concert.
Of course. Yeah. Oh, great. Spoiler. Yeah. It's going to be a challenge. But like I said, it really gives Beau something to do, a hero's journey this year. I think she's got to put together this broken little family. And then once they're together, back to, but which one of you do I really love? So we'll see.
All right, great.
Thank you so much, you
Thank
guys.
you.
Thanks for watching. Yeah, have a great